After decades of population growth, the U.S. Census Bureau says Oregon is seeing more people moving out of the state than moving in. Much of that decline is from people leaving Portland and Multnomah County, according to the latest census numbers. 21 of Oregon's 36 counties lost residents between July of 2021 and July of 2022. Multnomah County, which includes Portland, led the way with a decline of more than 10,000 people. According to the census data, Oregon's overall population dropped from about 4,256,000 to about 4,240,000, a drop of about 16,000 residents. Multnomah County's loss is Clark County, Washington's gain. Communities including Vancouver and Camas saw population increases, with many Portlanders choosing to cross the Columbia River to live. We're here to talk about the numbers and the reasons we're seeing this trend is Ethan Sherigin. He's director of the Population Research Center at Portland State University. Thanks for being here on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, does your research match what the census is finding?
Broadly speaking, yes. We both estimated outmigration from Multnomah County. It's really a difference of scale. We saw this beginning in 2021, and the difference is to what extent it was repeated in 2022. So in 2021, the Census Bureau had 12,000 outmigrants from Multnomah County, and we had about 4,000 net outmigrants. And then really in 2022 is where we differ. They saw a continuation of that trend while Seattle and San Francisco and some other metros bounced back. We agree that Portland didn't bounce back in the same way as those cities, but we had far less outmigration from Multnomah County. We had between 2,000 and 3,000.
The census numbers show that Washington and Clackamas counties lost some population, but PSU's data shows those two counties holding steady or showing a slight gain. So why is the discrepancy?
Yeah, so when we looked throughout the state, we saw that the population losses were concentrated in Multnomah County. Some of this, cities we saw like Bend tended to be more resilient towards the losses. But you're right, the losses which Census Bureau found in 2021 to 2022 were pretty broadly felt throughout the state. So that gets down to a little bit in how our models and how the data we put in are different. Our methods are pretty similar. We track changes since the last census, carry them forward, births and deaths and migration. The difference is the data that we use is a little different from those that they use. So they're constrained to look at data sources which are the same they can use in all states. When you file your IRS federal tax return, there's a record then of what address was used, and so address changes are tracked over time. And the Census Bureau, by virtue of being a federal agency, gets access to that a little bit earlier than we do. So they may be seeing some things between 2020 and 2021. That's 1 year ago. You're hearing me right. They do get the data earlier, but they have the assumption that they continue the trends forward. So they have data now for 2021, which they are applying to the first half of 2022. Whereas we introduce a regression model, which takes into account things like job growth, housing starts, school enrollment. We look at a lot of state-specific data sources that the Census Bureau doesn't have. And that because those numbers tended to be favorable for the state, that kind of attenuated the losses that we estimated in the state.
Bottom line is, though, that Multnomah County is losing population. Why is that?
Yeah, well, the migration is a hot button topic, but actually fertility rate is one that I would highlight. The birth rate has been declining. Pre-pandemic, we projected that deaths would start to exceed the number of births in the mid-2020s due to population aging. Of course, the pandemic accelerated that to happen a little bit earlier, but really Oregon now has gone to being one of the states with the lowest birth rates nationally. Our fertility rate, if you look at the birth rate, is around 1.4 children per woman, and that's the same level as Japan, to give you a sense of where we're at. So that has had a lot of implications. There's a lot of reasons why that's happening. It's been a long-running trend since the 1990s, but I think it's been underappreciated as a reason why the state's growth has been slowing.
The reason we hear for people moving out of Portland and Multnomah County, crime, vandalism, homelessness. So do you attribute some of that outmigration to those factors?
It's difficult to say. I think COVID played a big role in 2021, the ability to work remotely. Of course, we also have a tax system which provides an incentive if you can work remotely to work from outside the state for an Oregon employer. It's kind of still an unknown question. We don't really have the data specifically to determine what factors it is. But I think that when we talk about Clark County, for example, the source that we have, the best source we have for point-to-point migration from Multnomah to Clark County would be those IRS data. And we just have those now for 2020, expecting them next month. It's going to be a little while until we can look and see. But what we did see is that the growth in Clark County is kind of on trend from what we've seen from 2015 onward. Each year there tends to be about 5,000 people moving from Multnomah to Clark and about 3,000 moving the other way. So we have to remember it flows both ways, but it is a net loss for Multnomah, about 2,000 people per year. So if that's continued, it's something that's been going on for between 5 and 8 years, and so I think it is worthwhile to ask why this is emerging. I think if it may have spiked during COVID in 2021, but that probably is going to be waning in 2022 and onward.
Yeah, we've only got about 30 seconds left, but briefly talk about the political and economic impact of a declining population on an area.
Yeah, well, we've been kind of pointing to that happening for a couple of years. We do school enrollment projections for a number of districts around the state, and we've been kind of drilling that message home that we've seen that a declining birth rate means that we're going to see smaller incoming class sizes. I think it is true. It's worth remembering that Oregon, about every 40 years, has had 3 years of negative growth. We saw that in the early 40s. We saw it in the early 80s. We're seeing it again in the early 2020s. I think that we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we and other forecasters still expect about 1 million people to be added to the state's population between 2020 and 2050. But it is worthwhile to take stock and ask, why is this happening now?
Thank you very much, Ethan Sherigan from Portland State University Population Research. We appreciate you being here on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Pleasure. Thanks, Ken.